Hello and welcome to Foundations in Pre-Cal 10. We are going to start our outcome 10.03 on measurement, surface area, and volume by taking a look at an introduction to measurement and metric conversions. So what we need to know, and hopefully you are familiar with, is that there are two main systems of linear measurement that we use in society. The first is the metric, or the SI system. This is kind of the Canadian system, okay? We use it here in Canada. And we use prefixes, and it's based on 10. So if our unit of measure is the length, or the unit of length is the meter, we would have kilometers, centimeters, millimeters. So you hear those prefixes, and that tells us kind of how big or how small something is. The second system of measurement is the Imperial System, which we are also familiar with. This is the standard American system of measurement. Often used in construction and different trades, and we very often hear things such as feet or inches, yards, or miles. Okay, so what I want you to do is take a look around you, grab a ruler or a measuring device so you can see how big these things are if you're not sure. An inch, a foot, a yard, a centimeter, a millimeter, and a meter, and I want you to find some common reference for them. So what that is something that would be kind of handy for you, maybe even a part of your body, that will help you to approximate how big something is. So pause the video now and take a look around you and see if you can find some common reference. When you come back, I will have the chart filled in with a few common things that we've seen. All right, so here are some common reference that I've seen. So an inch is the length of your thumb from the end to the first knuckle. A foot is, well, your actual foot. A yard is about an arm span. Centimeter, the width of your pinky finger. Millimeter, the thickness of a fingernail. And a meter, again, an arm span, very close to a yard, okay? So these are just approximations. They're not going to be exact, but they'll give you about how far things are. What we're going to be looking at mostly in this outcome is conversions, and then we're going to be doing some surface area and volume calculations. So we're going to start with the metric system conversions. Now, if you take a look at your formula sheet that you've been given, you will see the common prefixes. I've got them listed down here at the bottom of the page just so that we can reference them. But the base unit always goes in the middle. We've got kilo, kilometers, hectometers, decameters, meters, decimeters, centimeters, millimeters. Okay, so the way that I like to do prefixes is that I always go figure out where you're starting. So if I look at this first example, I'm starting at the meter mark, and I need to go to the centimeter mark. Okay, so from the meter to the centimeter. So here's the meters, and I skip 1, 2 spots over to the right. So we don't count where we start, just that first hop. 1, 2 to the right. So we take the decimal and we move it 2 to the right. So if we move it 2 to the right, the first move will make it past the 6. If I have to go again, you add zeros in. So this becomes 3,260 centimeters. Okay, now let's look at the second one, 0.065 kilometers into decimeters. So I'm starting at the end, the kilometer mark, and I need to go over all the way to the decimeter. So don't start counting until you move. 1, 2, 3, 4 spots over to the right. So I'm going to take that decimal and move it 1, 2, 3, and I need one more spot over, so that's going to be a 0. So if I do that, this is what I get. 0.00650, right? Now we know that we don't need those leading zeros in there, so we can get rid of those guys because they're just the front, so it's 650 decimeters. Okay, 23.05 centimeters into millimeters. So I find where I'm at, starting at centimeters, moving over one spot to the right to millimeters. So that's going to go one spot that way. So that gives me 230.5 millimeters. Now, a couple of things to mention. If you have a question where there is no visible decimal, so suppose I have the number 26, the decimal always comes at the end on the right. If I have a question where I need to move things to the left, and I end up needing zeros, for example, it might become 0.026. So we just fill in with zeros where we need. Those are a couple of common key spots. Question number 4 says, which is larger, 2.37 meters or 23.7 centimeters. Well, I need to have them in the same units, so you can either convert centimeters into meters or meters into centimeters. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to choose to convert centimeters into meters just because we haven't done one yet where we've moved to the left, but you could certainly do it the other way. So if I'm at centimeters and I want to go to meters, 2 spots to the left. So my centimeters, my decimal's there, 2 spots to the left, it's going to become 0.237 meters. So now I have 237, not 273. Little mistake there. 237. And we're comparing that to 2.37. So clearly the 2 meters is larger than the 0.2 meters. Okay, the last question here. Jill wants to put up wallpaper around her bedroom. The dimensions are 4.5 by 6, and the wallpaper is sold in rolls that contain 430 centimeters. So I've got dimensions of my room. Okay, so my room is 4.5 meters by 6 meters. So if I want to go all the way around the outside, I want the perimeter of my room. So hopefully you remember that perimeter is the distance all the way around the outside. So I could say 4.5 plus 6 plus 4.5 plus 6, or I can say that I've got 2 walls that are 4.5 and another 2 walls that are 6. So that's going to give me a total perimeter of 21 meters. Okay, now the problem is that I can't really compare because my units are not the same. So if I convert that 21 meters into centimeters, so I've got the same units, so meters to centimeters, I'm going to go 2 to the right. So my 21 meters is going to become 2100 centimeters. So now if I want to figure out how many rolls I need, I'm going to take my 2100 centimeters and divide it by 430 centimeters, which gives me 4.88. So to answer the question, I need 5 rolls. Okay. I want you to go ahead and start the independent practice questions now.